Joining me here today are community stakeholders and partners for an equitable San Diego. We are here to pledge our support for a budget proposal that provides equity to all of our neighborhoods. I'm proud to work with my colleagues, Councilmembers Cole and Emerald, on prioritizing neighborhoods which have been historically underserved. Our joint budget proposal, which we have proposed last week and will be presenting today officially at the City Council Committee of the Budget, talks about the priorities and the investments that these neighborhoods need. And this will ensure that every neighborhood, every community is on a level playing field. We want to ensure that every neighborhood has equal access to fire protection, to police services, paved streets, streetlights, safe sidewalks, libraries, parks, and more services that are provided in our city. In the past, our city's budget has not reflected this equity. Far more investments are needed to address our vast infrastructure needs. The city must make infrastructure improvements and maintenance a higher priority in all areas of our city. Our priorities focus on building a San Diego that we can all be proud of. While most of the conversation about fixing our broken city has focused on existing city infrastructure, existing city streets, existing community buildings, we represent the non-existing sidewalks, the missing parks, and the neighborhoods that have no paved streets. Economic growth for our city and sustainability and a healthy neighborhood are the goals for us here today. We have a couple of individuals from the community who'd like to share a few words on some of their priorities that have been included in our budget priorities. First, I would like to ask Kyra Greene with Center for Policy Initiatives to say a few words on this. Kyra?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Kyra Greene. I am a research and policy analyst at the Center on Policy Initiatives, but I'm here today representing the Community Budget Alliance. The Community Budget Alliance is a coalition of community, neighborhood, faith-based, labor, and policy organizations. And we are committed to working on a City of San Diego budget that is equitable. That is, a budget where resources are invested to build a stronger San Diego and to close the inequality gap. Each year, we compile a list of community-generated requests. Most of those requests come from communities south of Interstate 8. And each year, when we collect these requests, we hear people say that they want fire stations that protect their lives and property. They want parks and other open spaces where their families can play, exercise, and interact safely with their neighbors. They want sidewalks, street lighting, and streets that get them where they need to go safely, regardless of their age or their disability status. They want expanded libraries and recreation center spaces and services because those spaces nurture hearts, minds, and the bodies of the community. In this way, the communities south of the 8 sound just like the communities north of the 8. They want good neighborhoods to live and work in. But every assessment of infrastructure done confirms that all of our infrastructure challenges are more extreme in communities south of the 8. So today we stand with Councilmember Alvarez and his colleagues, Councilmembers Cole and Emerald, and saying that this is the year when the mayor needs to make a real commitment to leading the City of San Diego in closing the infrastructure gap. We won't close that gap by simply spreading money around equally and giving everyone one shiny project. What we need to do is invest in a deep way in communities that have been left out in the past. So the infrastructure requests by Councilmembers Alvarez, Cole, and Emerald are crucial steps in the right direction. Funding these requests won't completely close the infrastructure gap, but they're a huge step in the right direction. And so we hope that the council members and the mayor will take up this challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is critical that we fund pedestrian and cycling safety upgrades. I can personally attest to that as I bike to work. Kathleen Ferrier with Circulate San Diego will discuss some of the important issues that we also raise in our budget priority memo. Kathleen?
Good morning, I'm Kathleen Ferrier, and I'm the Advocacy Director for Circulate San Diego, and we are also a member of the Community Budget Alliance, which was just referenced. On average, 3 people are hit by cars every day by walking or biking in our city. For people living in our underserved communities, the risk of being hit is even higher. A report released by the city last year shows that pedestrians living in disadvantaged neighborhoods are 10 times more likely to be hit by cars than pedestrians in other neighborhoods. These incidents are preventable, and safer street design is one of the key ingredients for success. The corridors mentioned by Councilmember Alvarez, Cole, and Emerald in their joint memo are home to almost 20% of the pedestrian collisions that are happening throughout the city. These are along corridors such as University Avenue, El Cajon Boulevard, Euclid Avenue, and Market Street. That's why Circulate San Diego, Community Budget Alliance, and other supporting partners are calling upon the city to adopt a budget to fund a Vision Zero plan to eliminate traffic injuries and deaths. These kinds of improvements are a priority for the community, as you can see. I'm standing in front of the microphone, but we work every day with people in these communities who are working hard to represent the voices of people to have safer streets. The good news is the city has solutions. The city has done a good job in preparing plans and identifying projects that should be implemented to improve safety. We are asking that the city takes one step further and, as part of next year's budget, to actually implement the plans and put projects on the ground. These investments will not only bring the many benefits mentioned by the council member, but also will save lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you all for being here. The budget memo is quite detailed and is available for all of you. It will be discussed right now, right after we leave here. I think, will all be in the room together. I will be sitting at the dais with my colleagues on the Council Budget Committee, and will definitely be speaking on behalf of these important priorities. Once again, it's clear that everybody understands that these are priorities. This is not requests for new money. This is allocation of our current resources in the budget, and we believe that given the projections of where our budget will be, these are all requests that could be met, and we have that expectation of the mayor when he releases his budget.